I wanted to do a quick video on how to put on wrist wraps correctly. Seen people get this off a little bit. So there's a few ways that you can do it depending on what you're trying to use them for. But for just a typical wrist support during pressing exercises, you want to make sure that you get a decent amount of coverage. So any of your wrist wraps are going to have a thumb loop, and most of them will be kind of one direction. So if you put it on the wrong side, so when I put it on here, I want to be able to wrap to the outside of my hand. Okay, so I've got the wrap. I'm going to make a fist so it tightens up tendons and ligaments around my wrist when I wrap it. Otherwise, if I wrap it with my hand open, as soon as I close my hand to grab the bar, I'm going to lose a lot of that support that I have. So I get this, I'm going to pull this just a little snug. I'm going to start just a bit above my wrist. So the top bit of wrap is actually on the back of my palm. And I'm going to pull them nice and tight. Depending on the thickness of wrap that you get, some will be really soft, some can be extremely hard, almost like a cast. The one I'm using is kind of somewhere in the middle. So tight fist. Pull it around so I've got a little bit of overlap on the back of my hand, and then I just kind of layer it coming down. Depending on how long of a wrap you're using, you might do an extra revolution in each spot. So there you go. So now when I open my hand, I'll actually feel it swell a little bit, so it's really snug on there. Then I'll take this off before I do anything with it. So this would be your typical, let's say, press support. Now there's another way that you can use this, which is to enhance your grip. So you might do this if you either don't want to use something like wrist straps, or I used to do this in powerlifting meets, where I'm going to try to cast my hand almost so it makes it extremely tough for my hand to open. So in this case, I'm not so worried about getting that support above my wrist. I'm going to start so that first revolution goes right at the bottom of my wrist. And now I'm going to wrap it up towards my forearm, and I'm pulling this as tight as I can get it. So let's say I'm doing something like a deadlift and I don't want to use straps, or let's say I'm competing in a powerlifting meet, I get this off. Now it's actually a challenge to even get my hand open. So with this wrapped as tight as I can't even get my hand open all the way. But I can compete in a powerlifting meet using a technique like this. Or if you just don't want to use straps, this would be another alternative to doing that. So 2 different ways to do it, depending on what the goal is.